process of selection to Outbrain?
For people?
Yes.
You can talk about the process without talking about the sources. So, sources that we use for hiring are, I must say, the very first source and most successful is friends, reading friends. Okay, Israel is a very small community, and if you find a name of someone, there might be maximum 2 hops in LinkedIn from somebody in the company that knows him. Okay? Knows him from the army, from school, from previous workplaces. It's a small swamp. So we make sure that people will know about Outbrain, all those tech talks and podcasts that we produce as Outbrain is only stage opportunities for us to say Outbrain is a cool company, we deal with the best technologies, and we have interesting challenges for people to work with. Oh, and also fun people to work. So people know about Outbrain, and when they feel they want to look for another job, we make sure that the first company they will look at their job page is Outbrain. And when they do, and they find a company, a job that might fit them, they can easily find somebody to ask, can you bring my CV to the table? So this is the most, the best channel. We also do, we use recruiters and that kind of stuff, and our own site that people can bring their CVs. Once we get somebody into the pipeline, we make sure that the CV is checked by the hiring manager. There will usually be, I would say, between 5 to 10 meetings or interviews with people that are from the team, from outside the team, that will meet you. HR will meet you, and you will talk about your experience, etc. You'll get what we call home assignment. We give candidates assignment that they can do at home, and it's basically to code something, and they will bring their assignment. Somebody will sit with them, we'll see the code, we'll talk about the code, why you did that, why you done that, and that way you can see how resourceful people are, okay? How they can learn alone and do something, and you can also learn about what drives them, how they think. Eventually, they get an offer, okay? And if they decide to come, we just make sure they have a proper chair.
Well, and last year I wanted to thank you for the lecture on the Master, and I wanted to ask a question. What is the best kind of advertisement in internet, maybe to create your page personally, or to give using advertising in mass media? What is the most?
Well, I'm a bit subjective in this manner, but I'm subjective because I truly believe that content marketing, that's the way to tell your story. And when you think of it, advertising as a whole had some kind of a traditional schema, okay, where the advertiser is paying good money to get the right to interrupt the user. Okay? You're watching TV, okay, hold on. Now we're gonna go to commercial. Signs on the road, they are there to interrupt us with watching the view. Banners, pop-ups, it's all built on the schema of I'm the advertiser, I'm buying the right to interrupt the user. Users are pissed off, okay? We go and watch TV in VOD or online in all the content sharing platforms. We don't listen to radio anymore because it has commercial. We have our music on iTunes. We online we put ad blockers. We basically say enough. Enough is enough. Okay, we don't let you interrupt us anymore. However, we would really like to get engaged and to read or listen or be engaged with good content. So advertisers are starting to understand it and they produce content. Some examples, you can speak about content marketing and not mention Red Bull. Red Bull, you hardly see Red Bull TV commercials or billboards or even banners, but you see a lot of Red Bull extreme sport content. And you see Red Bull throwing a person from the outer space, okay, last year, and produce a YouTube show about it with millions of viewers. And when the parachute opens, the Red Bull logo is there. Okay, they simply produce tons of content, the Flugtag, the air race with the airplanes. It's all amazing content that they produce or sponsor. I recently watched snowboarding competitions. Every second competitor has a helmet with the Red Bull logo. Okay, they are there in everything, sailing, surfing, everything related to extreme sport. They are there. They have an extreme sport content site, which has more views than ESPN. Okay, so that's Red Bull. They are the top in content marketing. Anyone knows why soap operas are called soap operas? You know? Because they are produced and manufactured by the fragrance companies. Those that are all the Procter & Gamble's of the world that own maybe half of the supermarket shelves. They understood who's making the decisions of what to buy to home in our world, and they produce content for this segment. So soap operas are all about giving you content that you can be engaged with. Now I have a relationship with you, and I can push messages for you from hair color to soaps to whatever you want to buy. Procter & Gamble, for instance, have 1,700 different websites, content websites, where they produce content that mummies on the other side want to read and engage with, and men's about tooling around the house, okay, with tips of how to screw something to the wall. That's content that relative or target audiences are being attached to, and they can use this real estate for either advertising or messaging, setting the right message or telling their story to the audience. So content marketing, make content that your audience will want to be engaged with rather than interrupt them. Answer the question? Okay.
Tell me, I want to ask a question about top manager of the company, top managers of the company.
Okay.
So, do they definitely have to be from IT sphere, or they can be from different sides? Do they have
From
to know
Navy.
how to make calls and all this stuff, or it's not very important for them?
How to make
company.
what?
I mean, this kind of IT company.
Yeah.
From your experience, maybe we have the.
From my experience, I'll talk about the top management of Outbrain. Me and Yaron, I come from software engineering, but I'm not an engineer. Okay, my education is practical engineering. Yaron is industrial designer. Okay, also didn't graduate. Because we were too busy doing stuff, not studying. We have guys that are, business people. Our CFO was the former finance person in Revlon. Okay. Our head of HR was head of HR in other company, Checkpoint, I don't know if you know them. They're the best in firewalls for a few years, but his background is, he was a Navy submarine commander, okay, captain. So from all around, it's mostly people that we can trust to lead the company at this stage. CTO, of course, should come from no, it's as long as they have the relevant either experience or
Любовь Хаков.
more question.
Не, новое здание.
На другом месте, на подборе есть? Да, есть.
How do you solve the problems and conflicts between peoples who work together?
You mean social
Это
problems and
фотография.
conflicts
Ну,
and
фотографировать.
so
Да.
first of all, and I talked about it about when you hire them, you make sure that they will be people
Вчера
that are fun
фотографировал
to
в
work
часу
with.
10. Ну, типа, чётко.
And it's not that conflicts are not happening, they are sometimes happening, but we try to remind ourselves and them why we are here. Okay, so there is a lighthouse, and there sometimes conflicts are done around something that you want to do for the product, okay, or for customers, and conflicts are usually happening because of ego. Okay, ego is the biggest enemy of trust, and conflicts are happening when two egos are clashing. ego has nothing to do with productivity, has nothing to do with solving problems. So when it happens, we remind the people that initially you're in conflict because you want to solve something. Now it's a conflict about doing it my way or your way, okay? And your egos doesn't let you come to an agreement. So forget your ego. There is a client here or somebody or a problem that needs to be solved. Solve the fucking problem. Don't mess with your egos. And that calms everything down when they cooperate to solve the problem. It's very nice to see when there are big failures or big issues, or sometimes it's not a failure, it's a force majeure. So I don't know if you remember or heard the news at the end of 2012. There was this Sandy storm in eastern US, and lower Manhattan got flooded, basically. And our main data center was in lower Manhattan. Power went down, generators failed, and it was kind of a force majeure, and we lost our primary data center. Because we were prepared with 2 other data centers in Chicago and in LA, the business didn't lose anything, but we had to move our primary services and databases and masters and everything from New York to LA, and we had to bring it up in LA in basically no time. And there was a lot of work to do it, and you could see how people, they put their egos aside and just make things work. Everybody work together. In the company in general, we're trying to keep egos low, mostly by example of management and keep ego in the company. So ego clashes are very rare. It's much easier to prevent clashes before they begin than to solve them when they happen. Okay. Thank you. More questions? Adam? Okay.
My name is Andrew, and in new development, between programmers and or managers, usually there are some conflicts, and they turn to discussion to solve them. But from my experience, sometimes between programmers, these conflicts can happen too often, and they can stagnate the development. But on the other hand, it trust the choice gives us discussion, to choose the right architecture or choose the right way to solve this or that problem. So the question is, do you encourage such a discussion, or you try to make them on the top level and give orders what to do to the lower, to the executors of what to go?
Yeah. So. Usually we flip the hierarchy. Okay, most decisions are done by the executors. Okay, developer that we have no architects. Okay, nobody is the architect, because we don't believe that you can operate where somebody is planning the execution and somebody is executing it. That doesn't work. What we do is we push all decisions to, so You can be a programmer 2 weeks in your job, and you get an assignment. You have to design it, build the architecture, and then develop it. Your architecture will be reviewed, not necessarily by the manager, but it can be reviewed by a peer. Okay, so you'll get to learn. And usually new people, they do many mistakes, but they won't learn if they won't do the mistakes. Okay, so we let everybody do the job, whether it's architecture or design or code. Even code is reviewed, okay, by peers, because that's a mechanism to learn and improve. Okay, if you treat criticism as an opportunity to learn, it becomes no issue. If you treat criticism as criticism or as something that is demoting you, then it's an issue. But if the people are here to learn from each other, then criticism becomes very much welcome. Okay? Understand?
Yeah, that's it. Can you please describe a little more how you do you encourage the discussion on this level of solving the assignment between programmers, or how no?
No, I can elaborate how it happens. Everybody is planning, and when you plan and you present your plan, then it's opportunity for people to give you feedback and to learn and improve. Okay? So the discussion is the feedback session, okay, that you get for your planning. But we push the decisions and planning to the execution people. That's by the way how we are used to from the Navy. Okay? In the Navy, when there is some kind of an operation somewhere, the ones that plan the operation is not the headquarters of the Navy or the admiral. The admiral says, okay, I want you to go there to do that. Okay? That's your assignment. Now plan how you're going to do it, what you need, how many ships should be there, what are the forces or whatever, and what ammunition you need, or how many fuel you need for that operation. The officers that are executing the operation, they are the ones to plan it. Then they present it to the admiral. The admiral say, go for it, or I want you to fix here or there. That's the feedback I give you. Don't do it. Okay? That's the way of management that we're used to. Okay, that we were educated for.
That came from experience?